Nick Saban knows a thing or two about winning national titles. We know that. He's already won 7 of them as a head coach, the last 6 with Alabama, and he's fared pretty well against his former assistant coaches, posting a 25-1 win-loss record, which includes 4 wins over Georgia's head man, Kirby Smart. Yep, Saban has done pretty well against his assistants, so can Kirby Smart come out on top tonight? That is the question of the hour. Dan's here along with RG3. So, Rob, welcome to First Take. Starting off, I got to ask you, how much pressure, you just heard me talk, is on Kirby Smart to beat Nick Saban in Alabama this time around?
You asking me?
Yes, you. How much pressure is on Kirby Smart?
Yeah. So, it shouldn't be any more pressure than any coach trying to win a national championship. But to be honest with you, always going to be 100. It's a gargantuan amount of pressure on Kirby Smart. He has 41 seasons of championship drought, 7 straight losses against Alabama. The heartbreaking 2nd and 26 walk-off touchdown from Tua to Devontae Smith in the 2018 national championship game, and they're having to answer questions about that all week long. And honestly, they've kind of been in denial, trying to play it down and make it seem like it's really not a thing, but it is. So when you talk about it from that standpoint, no pressure, no diamonds. We'll see if this time around Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs can get that national championship ring.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think there's a tremendous amount of pressure. I also think it's warranted. You're the head coach at Georgia. This is one of the 5 premier coaching opportunities in all of college football. It's obviously one of the kings of the SEC. Kirby Smart has had a top 5 recruiting class every year that he has been there. The overwhelming thing in college football when it comes to determining success or not is the amount of players or the players that you absolutely get, and Kirby has that. RG3 makes a great point of some of the close misses that this football team under Kirby Smart has had. I also think they've got a historically great defense. These defenses that Georgia has does not come around often. And then Alabama is a weaker version than we have seen in years past. They are not the dominant Alabama that we have seen. And I think that's why, given how good Georgia is, the expectations of this football team, how close they have been in the past, the history of Kirby Smart and his recruiting, and the, I guess, non-dominant aspect or non-dominant form that we have in Alabama, there's a tremendous amount of pressure for him to finally get this done, for somebody truly to finally get this done and overcome Alabama and Nick Saban.
Yeah, and this is a rematch from the SEC. Go ahead.
No, I think Dan's right about a lot of what he just said. But Georgia has to throw all of that away. They have to come out, play free, play fast like they've done against everybody in the country, not named Alabama. When you look at their schedule and the way that they played like Tarzan against the rest of the country. Right. And came out and played like Jane against Alabama in the SEC championship game. So I think they have to focus on today, not worry about all the other garbage or all the other baggage that's been going on, and that'll allow them to really come out and play their best football.
I think it's a good point, Roger. Like, I'd say this, if you watch this Georgia team, because I want to hear your opinion on this, it almost seems like they have moments when they play Alabama, lulls in the game where whether it's they have a lead and they come out in the second half and play poorly, where it's just they allow a 15 or 20-minute stretch in the game where they just don't show up, and Alabama seems overwhelming in the football game to me. So, how mentally, how do you think, what would you say to the Georgia team, I guess, for their mental kind of mindset going into tonight?
Yeah, Dan, I think it's simply they can't get into the lull of, oh, my gosh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Right? They had a 10-point lead in the SEC championship game, and then Alabama just started steamrolling them, throwing the ball down the field to Jamison Williams, getting explosive plays. So if I'm Georgia, I just look at it like this. Our best pass rushers are our linebackers. We got to get them involved somehow. We have to get Bryce Young on the ground. The teams that have played them well, Texas A&M beat them 4 sacks. Auburn, LSU, Arkansas all played them close. They had 7, 4, and 4 sacks in those games. So that's the recipe. Go out, allow Stetson Bennett not to have to make too many plays. Don't go blow for blow with Bryce Young and company. And I think Georgia will walk out victorious.
Yeah, and you talk about all these sacks, but they did not have 1 sack against Bryce Young in the SEC championship game. So that's something they're definitely going to have to work on tonight. So, Robert, who wins tonight?
Oh, I've been talking up Georgia all day and yesterday and the day before that. But at the end of the day, Alabama wins this game. I think Alabama wins. They've already won the game. I think they'll win the game on the field tonight, but they've already won the game off the field. As I talked about, the 41 years without a national championship, all the baggage that Kirby Smart and those guys are having to deal with. And the last time I checked, Alabama still has the Heisman Trophy winner, modern day's very own Bryce Young. He's the Houdini out of the pocket. They still have Will Anderson, the best defensive player in the entire country. They still have the game-breaking speed of Jamison Williams on the outside. And I think their offensive line, although they have been banged up, is coming in way more confident after 2 games in a row where they completely dominated the line of scrimmage against Georgia and Cincinnati. So I think Alabama gets the job done.